Today's guest is Hanshi Mathews, ninth Dan, founder and executive director of the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame. The Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame was created to recognize martial artists who have dedicated decades to teaching, mentoring students, and strengthening their communities through martial arts. The organization honors instructors, pioneers, and leaders whose contributions extend beyond competition and focus on the long-term impact they've made within the martial arts community. Today, we'll discuss the mission of the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame, the importance of recognizing martial arts legacy, and the upcoming Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame celebration. Before we get started, thank you seriously for coming on and giving me your time. This is fantastic.
Thank you for allowing me to do this. It's an honor.
So, what is the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame, and what inspired you to create this?
Well, let's start back at the beginning, I guess. So, over the past 15 years or so, I've been involved with a number of different Hall of Fames. And while on the surface, they looked okay, when I started pulling back the curtain and discovering the corruption, the greed, the lack of integrity, I knew that there had to be something better. We have to be able to honor the people that need honored in some way, shape, or form better. That was one. Two, in talking to some of my other martial artists here in the area, we've seen a growing divide between the lower ranks and the higher ranks. And we kind of want to get to a point where we can bring that gap closer together. And the way to do that is with information. And so part of our website is just that, is we want to be an informational hub, to get to people and have them have access to it, such as programs like yours, articles, books, and we can get into that, as we go along. But we want that information to get out there to people.
So when you talk about division between the higher ranks and lower ranks, what's that look like as far as those ranks and whatnot?
Well, there's times when the lower ranks, whether they feel threatened or whether they feel afraid, they don't want to engage in conversation with a higher rank for some reason. I don't get it. I mean, I was always yearning for information. So I'm like, hey, you know what? There's a guy that's been around for a few years. Let me talk to him. Let me get his feedback on certain stuff. And let me ask him some hard questions and see what he thinks of things, right?
Absolutely.
But as I've traveled the country, I don't really see that. I mean, sometimes I don't even see it within my own school. Some of the kids in black belts aren't asking questions. So I have to ask them questions to get them more engaged. To say, look, you guys need to pick my brain. I'm only here for a certain amount of time. I wish I could be here forever, but you need to pick my brain. And class, after class, before class, I don't care. Ask me questions.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What problem or gap in the martial arts community were you hoping to address with your organization?
Well, that's just it. We want to marry the two together. We want people to come to our event, for one, experience the seminars. Like, we put together some fantastic seminars with some great people from all over the country, and a couple of high class super names that we can definitely get into. But then we also want that information out there. We want people to go, hey, you know what? Where can I go to listen to more podcasts about martial arts? Well, if you go to our website, you're going to see on our members resources section a tab that says podcasts and media. And so, we're adding in podcasts such as yours and a couple of others that we know about. So people can go there and they can go, hey, here's 3 of them right off the bat. I've got 30 hours worth of listening to do to all these people that they've interviewed.
That's fantastic. So, what makes the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame different from other martial arts organizations?
I'm glad you asked that question. First off, we're not into this for greed. We're not into this for money. We're into this for true dedication of martial artists. Okay. And so, our slogan is legacy is earned, not purchased.
Hmm.
And I see it all the time. I just got an invitation this week to another event. It's $495
Oof.
just for me, just for the banquet, not including my travel, my hotel, my food, the wife coming, all that kind of stuff. So it gets kind of pricey. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these events are very good for networking and making friends and things like that. But you've got to pick and choose. And when you're invited back to the same event over and over and over and over and over, you're not going to get that. So, you might go once and say, look, I'm done. I'm not going back anymore because I'm not getting anything from it. So what we want our event to be is, 1, it's low cost. 2, we have some great instructors. 3, we want to make it so that, hey, you know what? I want to come back next year. I want to do this again. I want to see, all right, what other instructors are you going to have next year? Maybe a couple of the same, but we're going to have we would have a new slate of people. But we want the entire event to be, hey, you know what? This was professional. This is the way it should be. And this is the way, I want to feel. And, that's the other thing is, are we professional in it? Do we look professional? And does the participant feel like it's professional? All right. And if we can accomplish all 3 of those things, we've done our job. Again, it's not about the money. It's about we're honoring these people that have quietly dedicated their lives to martial arts. They don't want to pay a fortune for a trophy or a plaque or another medal, but they just want recognition. I shouldn't say they want recognition. They haven't asked for it,
Mhm.
but we're recognizing them anyways.
Well, that's a beautiful outline of the seminar, and that's fantastic. And I'm glad you were kind of steering the boat in that direction, because that leads to what qualities or accomplishments does the organization look for in martial artists?
Well, so the other thing that we do that's different is that we start at 35 years of experience and a 6th Dan. Now, with that being said, we also look at a person's background. Is their rank progression legitimate? Or let me give you an example. I had a guy who was nominated, and he was a 9th Dan. Been in 35 years, 9th Dan. Okay. Once we got into his background and looked, his 2 5th Dan students and a 3rd Dan student promoted him from 7th to 9th. Exactly. And where in the martial arts world does that make sense, right?
Right.
Okay. It doesn't. So we denied his nomination because it's not, to us, it's not legitimate. It's you're being promoted by your own students, and you're even being promoted 2 ranks more higher than what you were already at. We've had other individuals who were promoted year after year after year in the Dan ranks. Time and grade was gone. There was no time and grade.
Do you see that a lot?
More
Maybe not so
often,
much on the nomination side, but just in the martial arts community in whole?
more than we should.
Okay.
More than we should. Okay. So the other difference that we do is that we literally research every single person that gets nominated and we vet them. Whereas all these organizations do, and it's sad, is they vet your wallet,
Mm,
and that's it. And some of them, they have a whole list they have 150 titles. What title do you want on your certificate? Grandmaster of the Year, Instructor of the Year, Black Belt of the Year, School of the Year. And when you get to the event, there's 30 Grandmasters of the Year.
well
How
said.
Granted, that may make you feel good, and you can go back to your community and you're now the Grandmaster of the Year because nobody else knows the difference, right?
Right.
But in reality, if you're a really good martial artist, can you honestly sit there and say, I feel good about that certificate? Yeah, exactly. And that's where we're different too. We don't have titles. We have, you are nominated or you are not. You're inducted or not, so to speak. And so what we do, let me show you some examples here of some stuff. I don't know if you've seen these before. Um, But when a person is nominated, we go through the nomination, and like I say, we do the research. We vet them to make sure that they are truly legitimate. We don't want any first dan, second dans, a 20-year-old sixth dan, you know, which
Sorry.
which that's okay. There's plenty of them out there to pick from.
Yeah, I saw about a 6-year-old first dawn not long ago. That's another story.
I've seen a 9-year-old third dan.
Oof.
So they're out there, and that's another issue, and we can discuss. So once we accept them in, we're gonna get them. They get one of these patches.
Very nice.
Okay. Um, they get oop, certificate. Okay, and they get a letter of induction. Who nominated them. A press release. All that's put into a package and mailed to them. They don't even know it's coming. Shows up in their mailbox. They didn't have to pay for it, not one dime. If they're more than 50 years in the martial arts, we bump them up. We upgrade their package,
Oh,
so they
wow.
get a Warriors Legacy Society. That's what we call it. They also get the Warriors Legacy certificate. It's kind of hard to see there, um, and a letter that goes with that. Again, no cost, right?
Zero cost.
Zero cost. Didn't cost them a dime. You know, we what we're going to do at the event and is celebrate that induction. Okay. But I've had people call me, I've had people email me, and the one guy that called me is crying on the phone. He's got 50 plus years in the martial arts. He goes, nobody's ever honored me without wanting to get inside my wallet. We've had one of the guys that got inducted is from Japan, and he's actually going to be at our event and teaches at a university. Well, his university thought so highly of it and looked us up. They created a whole page on their website
Wow.
just for
Wow.
his honor. And so there's all kinds of people that are going, wow, this is real. you know I'm really heart touched that I'm getting this and somebody's recognizing me for who I am and my talents. And again, I hate to keep saying it, instead of my wallet.
Absolutely.
you know
That being said, why is it so important to recognize instructors who have spent decades teaching and mentoring students?
oh my gosh. Martial arts was built on lineage. It was built on mentorship and the passing of knowledge from teacher to student. We need to recognize those people. We need to say, hey, thank you for doing that. Thank you for passing on that knowledge. That's generations of students. We need that, and everybody loves to be recognized. Everybody loves to be say, hey, thank you. You've done a great job with what you're doing. So why not? Why shouldn't we do that? It's not about, this is not about trophies. This is not about winning competitions. This is about the community of martial artists going, look, we recognize you for what you've done. We appreciate it for what you've done. And here you go. Here's an honest, from the heart award for you.
And that has to mean so much to the people that receive that. I mean, knowing you and the board of directors that I know, just being upstanding citizens, and I know that none of those people have came to you and say, "Hey, I want to be in this." It's just you guys do it on merit, and it's beautiful.
Right. And that's the thing. Nobody's and we turn them down. If somebody, and we've had a couple people come to me and go, hey, how can I get in this? You don't. You can't
Well,
just get in.
how do you ensure that the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame and the recognition that you guys are doing remains meaningful and credible to the Martial Arts Society?
Because we are doing the vetting, we are doing the research, and the nominations that come in. There's a section on our form of where a person fills out 3-4 paragraphs of why they think that person that they're nominating deserves to be in. And we take that and we verify it. We get on Google, we get, whatever, and we start searching through. We search through Facebook pages, and go, look, is this guy, girl, or whatever, are they legitimate? Is it real, or is it somebody just throwing stuff out there to be a paper hound? And there's plenty of those. There's plenty of people that have multiple 10th Dan belts. How you do that, I don't know, but there's guys that are paper hounds, and that's all they want is a piece of paper.
That's
So
incredible.
we're trying to eliminate that.
Good, and like I said, it's an organization that promotes on merit. Nobody's seeking that out,
Right.
and on the flip side of that, that recognition, what I've seen, having nominated someone and seeing how their family reacted to that nomination and them actually being accepted, for someone that is no longer with us,
Right.
that adds to their legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And just to give you some numbers, we started this July 1st of last year. Since that time, we have honored over 200 people. Over 100 of those have 50 years or more in the martial arts.
Wow.
I'll bet there's no other organization out there that has the statistics to say, look, this is the specialty group that we've honored. We've got 3 people that have 70 years or more in the martial arts.
Wow. That's amazing.
And and I'm sure they'll tell you, nobody's ever done this for us before. We do our thing because we love it, right?
Yeah. What kind
And
of impact does that recognition leave those individuals that receive that recognition?
they're stunned, for one, and two, again, it's like, I did this because I love to do it. But you recognizing me for it makes it more worthwhile that I even did it, right? Okay. Um, so yeah, they're in fact, two of them are coming to the event. We're working on the third one right now.
All right, you got to give me Grandmaster Carlson.
Grandmaster Carlson's one. Um, Woody Fairbanks out of Cincinnati is another. We're trying to get him there, and a guy named Sung Kim.
Well, come on, Woody and Sung
Yeah.
Kim.
Yeah, I hope they're able to make it. But when you get up to that point, you're a little bit up there in age, so it's a little bit harder to travel.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
you
Well,
know,
tell us about the upcoming Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame celebration.
well, it's coming up June 19th and 20th up in Richfield, Ohio, at the Quality Inn and Suites. Just up there today, mapping out some of the layout, and Friday night we're going to have a meet and greet with some hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. Um, Saturday is going to be filled with seminars. I've got 15 instructors coming in to do seminars.
For
Actually,
anybody
no.
that's on the fence that may have never been to something like this, can you describe what a seminar is?
So what we're going to do is 50 minutes. Um, we're going to have 3 seminars every hour. And the hard part is you got to pick one of those. Or you can bounce around from all 3. That's up to you, you know. Um, but the instructor is going to get 50 minutes to show you something, to get your whistle wet, to expand your knowledge, to go, look, I want to learn more. How can I learn more from you? You know, and that's kind of that marrying together of the lower ranks and higher ranks is what we want to do. We want the lower ranks to go, look, man, that was a fantastic seminar. How can I learn more? Where do you live? Can I come visit your school? Can I train with you more? How can we set that up? Whether it be in person or in Zoom, it doesn't matter, but we've put the two together, right? Um, we have got Billy Blanks, Tybo Fitness coming in, right? We have got Bill Superfoot Wallace, the man himself. All right, he's going to be there. I talked to him the other day. He's excited. He's looking forward to it. We have got a retired FBI agent who is going to teach rapid assault tactics. And this guy was the chief of the behavioral unit for the FBI. Fantastic guy. Fantastic. We have got a couple of other people that are doing some self-defense stuff. I've got another kickboxer out of Virginia coming. He's going to do his type of kickboxing, which is a little different than Bill Wallace. He was one of Jeff Smith's students from years ago. We've got a guy doing judo. We've got a guy doing the Okinawan bow. We've got a guy doing Kempo Jiu-Jitsu. We've got a guy doing Aikido Jiu-Jitsu. The individual from Japan will be talking about how can a person train in Japan. And so he's going to kind of be a liaison. Let's say that you'd love to go to Japan and do some more training. He'd be the contact person to say, hey, I'd like to come over there and do some training. Where's a good place? Where can I come in? Can I come into your school and train at your university? Things like that. So that door is going to be open for anybody that's interested in doing that and moving up in their career and taking that. You know, Again, this is a box that we're opening up and going, look, pick and choose what you want, but please pick and choose because these are fantastic people. And even I, as looking at the seminar schedule, I'd be like, I want to go to that. I want to go to all 3 at the same time, but I can't, right?
Right.
Right. So that's what we put together. And then the banquet is going to be, it's not going to be a talk show. These people that have gone, if you've ever gone to one of these, let's just call it the Greed Fest Hall of Fame. I'm not politically correct. That's just the way it is.
Perfect.
Um, these guys get up there and thank you for my award and I'm going to talk for 10 minutes and tell you who I am and where I came from and how I got started and this, that, and the other. by the time you listen to 30 or 40 of these, you're going, oh, are we done yet? I look at the time. I want to go to bed. So no, it's going to be very controlled, but very professionally done. We've got it laid out to be, wow, this is the way it should be done from the start. Um, we've
So
got to
the
keep,
attendees can expect a professional atmosphere,
yes,
hands-on learning from um, a robust lineup of martial arts masters,
yes,
and the opportunity to pick and choose whatever they want to do during the weekend.
absolutely, absolutely. And then we're gonna have some great food. We have 3 entrees picked out that are top notch, top of the line. Some great go wits, dessert, all that stuff. Um, that's like I say, we want this to be a wow. I want to come back. So that's how we're laying out the entire weekend.
Well, I for one, am really looking forward to it. What is going to make this gathering different from the other martial arts events?
You want me to repeat everything that I went through?
No.
Because because this is going to make the difference. Like I say, if you've ever been to one of these other events, you will immediately notice the difference between the two.
So the
Um,
other events are more kiss the ring, celebrate. This is
correct.
more
Yep. Yep.
this is
Make
more
sure I
about
have
you
your
and less
money.
about me.
Yep. Make sure I have your money. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
Sign your credit card here. Um, yes. Every single inductee will be called on stage.
that's good.
Every single inductee will be giving, if you're less than 50 years, you will be given a blue stole, like a graduation stole, with our logo on it. It's sewn into the stole. If you're 50 years or more, you get a gold one. We're going to honor Billy Blanks and Bill Wallace with Living Legends Awards. We're going to have the keynote speaker. And we've got a couple of other awards that we're giving to some people that I'm not going to name just yet
Okay.
because it's going to be a surprise. I want it to be a surprise to everybody, including them. So they're not going to know.
That's fantastic. But so for this weekend, do you have to be a martial artist to attend?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So we've got Taibo. Anybody can go do it. All right. We've got 3 sessions that are going to talk about some type of self-defense. Don't need to be a martial artist to do that. Anybody can do it. And that's the thing. We don't want to be that narrow road of just martial artists. Because when you go to an event, your wife comes or your girlfriend comes or fiance or whatever. And for the most part, if you've been in this long enough, they go sit off to the side and kind of feel abandoned, so to speak, right?
Right.
They're really not, but they're kind of abandoned. We don't want that. We want to include them in, which is why that we have the Taibo, which is why we have the self-defense. We want them to learn just as much as a martial artist. There's no reason why they can't or why they shouldn't, right? So enjoy it with everybody else.
Well, how can someone find out more about the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame weekend?
Best way is to go to our website, warriorslegacyhof.com. The banquet registration page is right up there at the top. Click that. Go down, fill out the forms, and off we go. Now, we do have advanced registration ending this Sunday. After that point, the price does go up a little bit. Hotel rooms are booking up fast, so if someone's truly interested, they need to get their hotel room booked. and then we go from there. So far, it's turning out to be a great event.
And for those people that don't know, this Sunday is going to be 3:15.
That's
I will put
correct.
a little disclaimer on there, so not
Disclaimer
every
on there.
Sunday's this Sunday.
That's true.
Yes.
Well, sometimes it is.
Sometimes you're right.
My Friday is every day.
Oh, stop it with that. Congratulations, but stop it with that.
Yeah, yeah. But I can't express enough that people that want to learn more, that want to train more, they need to get out of the school, outside of the box, and come to events like this. There's not many of these that go on around the country. You may see a seminar somewhere, but you're going to be paying $60 to $100 just for that one seminar, right?
Right.
We're allowing you to pick if you just did the 1 hour per seminar, we're allowing you to pick 5 of them for low cost, plus a meal.
Plus a
And
meal,
it's
that's
going to
good
be,
for me.
and
Good
yeah,
enough.
it's going to be a fabulous meal on top of that. It's not going to be, a bologna sandwich and potato chips.
Well, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I know my wife, my family, we plan on being there. We're super excited to attend the Warriors Legacy Hall of Fame weekend and recognize this year's inaugural class. Very, very cool.
Yes, absolutely. Like I say, it's turning out to be a fantastic event so far. It can only get better from here. And, we want everybody to come, have fun, learn, ask questions. Another thing, take pictures with people. You know,
Yes.
there's nothing like going to an event like this where all of these grandmasters and masters are hanging out and you get to go up and say, "Hey, can I have my picture with you?" And that in itself, it is priceless, for you to go home and years later go, "I was at this. This is who I was with." Right? And
Right.
everybody can look at it and go, "Man, I wish I had gone." Right? Or, "Hey, I was there with you. We had a fantastic time. We rocked and rolled." Right?
Yeah.
Um, but again, it gives you this opportunity to buddy up with these people that you may not have had the chance to meet. Like Dr. Vecchi, who's the retired FBI agent. He's out of Missouri. So, if you go to his seminar and you like what you see, you go to him and say, "Hey, Dr. Vecchi, how can I learn more? Can we hook up, and do some extra training? I'd love to learn more about what you're teaching." Okay. And that's the thing that we want. We want people to spread their wings and get that information to them. That's the only way that martial arts is going to survive. Yep.
I agree, sir. I think it's fantastic. You have the person that's on the fence right now looking at this going, all right, I'm going to make that decision to come. And then you also have somebody that's coming. They could possibly go to Japan to train.
Correct.
I mean, you talk about wide ends of the spectrum of what you can expect this weekend. It's amazing.
Not only that, but look at the networking that you can do and the friendships that you can make. You and I have talked many times about how I met certain people. And the reason I met them and the why I met them is because I went to events like this and made friends with them. Now I have all of these other brothers. I have all of this other family. I have all of this ability to go to different places. I went to this event in Texas last year, met this guy out of Canada. Fantastic guy. In fact, he's coming to our event. But guess what? after our event, I'm traveling up to Toronto, Canada to teach at his seminar at his school. How did
That's
that
amazing.
happen? Because we met together somewhere, made friends, and now we talk probably 3, 4 times a month.
That's amazing. Impacting lives all the way across. That's amazing.
Exactly, exactly. So
Because
not
you
only
never know who that student's going to be, right?
correct,
You
you
never know
never
how
know.
you're going to impact that student.
You never know. And now I get to go to his school and maybe impact his students in some way, shape, or form. So it's spreading. It's spider webbing out. But if we just sit at home, if we do nothing, if we just go to our school and train and do nothing beyond that, we don't get to experience all this stuff. And you know, again, I'm not trying to do this for money. I could care less. Um, Nobody's paying a fortune to come to this event, and that's the way it should be, right? It should be low cost. I can't do it for free unless I hit the lottery tomorrow. Then we're going to have one heck of a celebration, right?
Right.
But you're not paying a fortune to come and be able to experience these opportunities and have that. And that's what I'm trying to get across to a lot of school owners, to get across to their students. These opportunities don't come that often, for one.
And
Number
it
two,
will never be the same. Next year's event will not be like this event.
that's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. My goal would be the instructors that we have this year. I want you to come next year, but now I'm going to have a whole new bunch of people
Yes.
teaching, right?
Right.
The other thing too is these people that have the knowledge, these people with 50, 60, and 70 years in the martial arts, sad to say, they're passing away at an alarming rate.
Right.
And if we don't grab that knowledge, it's gone. We can't get it back,
Right.
right? And so again, that's the other thing. We want these schools to go to their black belts, to their students, even if they're a white belt, going, look, this is an opportunity for you. Come out here and train. Who cares? Who cares if you make mistakes or whatever? It's not about that. It's about the learning of what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. And it's also like you said, um, you get to hold on to that space and time that it's going to be unique to this weekend, no matter what. It's going to be
Yeah, right.
different every year moving forward.
Right.
And the masters that are here, hopefully they're with us long into the future, but you can't take every day for granted.
That's
It's
true.
nobody's getting out of here alive.
That's exactly right. I mean, Bill Wallace is 80 years old. He
And
trains like
I'm
he
looking forward
trained
to meeting him.
he trains like he's 20.
I
But
look forward to that.
but him and I talked a couple weekends ago. We're not here forever.
Right.
We have a finite time. And again, we have to take advantage of those finite times, to do this. You can't say, "Oh, I'll do it next time," or "I'll wait and do it," another year. Well, there may not be a next time. There may not be another year. So take advantage of it when it happens.
Well, Hanshi Matthew, thank you so much for coming on. Tell of the Dragons, which is a show based upon hearing the stories of martial artists, masters, white belts, because everybody has a story. And
Yep,
it was actually sitting down, hearing you talk at one point, along with Professor and some others, that I realized these guys, they got a lot to say. And I want to capture just a glimpse of whatever that is in their words.
good. I'm glad that you are, and I'm glad that a number of others are doing the same thing. It's capturing the stories because again, if you don't capture those stories, they're gone. I can't come back. I wish I could. I could, send you an email and say, hey, guess what? I forgot to tell you something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, um, but capturing the stories is what it's about going forward, and we've got to get that out there. And that's another reason why, I want to be able to put, your podcast and a few others onto our website so that people do have a source. They don't have to go looking for it. They come to one place and they go, oh my gosh, we kind of want to kind of be the Google of martial arts without Googling it, right?
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Let's put it out there, and let's allow people to enjoy what you guys are capturing. So I want to thank you for having me on the show. Hopefully we can do this again and talk about other things in the martial arts, which
Well, I
which
got to
you
hear your story, man. I got to hear the Don Mathews story from beginning to hear, because it's
oh my goodness.
amazing.
Oh my goodness. It's long and boring.
Well, we'll make sure we carve out enough time for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, sir.